Hello, welcome to another video on my channel, and today I'm going to be drawing a Brachiosaurus from the Walking with Dinosaurs series, a very recognized series within the paleontology community. I'm pretty sure everyone who loves dinosaurs has seen this series, and I am doing a remaster of one of the animals, the Brachiosaurus. And yeah, come along with me, I'll talk you through my process that I used for this illustration, and yeah, grab a cup of tea or your drink of choice and come along. So, as always, I'm using the program Photoshop, the latest version I believe, and the first thing I do is I create the document and I download all of the references that I'm going to be using. So I have 3 here that I'm going to be using for this quick commission. On the left we have 2 images or screenshots from the show. The top one, I believe, is an actual screenshot, and the bottom one looks like a render or some kind of promotion material for the Brachiosaurus on the show, which has a lot more details than the top one and allowed me to see all of the nitty-gritty characteristics of the coloring of the animal. And on the right, I am using a skeletal reconstruction of Brachiosaurus altithorax by the famous Scott Hartman. And this skeletal was updated as of 2022, which, yeah, it's amazing. It's very accurate, and I'll post a link in the description if you want to use it. First, I'm starting with a rough sketch, and here you'll see me try to find a pose that I like. In terms of references, the only one that is useful to me now is the Brachiosaurus skeletal, so while I'm doing the sketch, I hide the other 2, and I try to keep the proportions of the skeletal in mind. The rough sketch phase is a lot of trial and error. You already have seen me correct some things, and that trend will continue. As for example, at first I draw the head of the Brachiosaurus way too big, and I just corrected. Finally, I'm trying to do a dual lap, which at first does not look right. I do eventually correct it to fold, kind of like clothing, which is something that looks more natural. I definitely recommend you try it, and I will definitely keep in mind for future drawings. As I won't actually be drawing the skeletal and musculature of the animal, as I would in a more detailed painting, I try to incorporate some of those quick to do details into my sketch, such as big bones like the scapula and arm and leg muscles. Now, moving on to the line art, because I spent some time refining a rough sketch, as you saw, I can usually just carefully trace over it to create a line work. Because I focus on creating an airtight line work, I can select the outside of the line art, flip the selection, create a new layer, and finally fill it with a color so I can create a mask, which allows me to draw inside it freely without worrying about spilling outside the border. Now I'm trying to replicate the greenish and yellowish colors of the Walking with Dinosaurs Brachiosaurus based on the other two references. I see this interesting pattern of light and dark tones on the head of the reference image, which I try to replicate, as well as fill in some details like the eyes, spikes, and claws. Finally, I noticed that in the better quality reference, there are a lot of dark spots and stripes in the underside of the neck and the underside and sides of the belly, and some light stripes in the dorsal part of the animal, which I will incorporate into my painting. For the shadows, I create a new layer and set it to the mode multiply. This will, as the name suggests, multiply its color with the colors underneath, which works well for shadows. So I get a bluish gray color and start blocking out some of the big areas of shadow, imagining where the light will be coming from. I usually do 2 layers of shadows to get some of those deeper values, which helps the image not feel flat. For the light, it's essentially the same thing as the shadows, but now paint the areas that will be closer to the light source. And instead of using the multiply mode, I create a layer with the overlay mode and choose a goldish white color. Finally, to finish off the painting, I add some highlights on the skin, claws and spikes. These are done in a normal layer, with hand-picked colors. I try to paint the areas that will be catching the light from the source the most, getting a nice shine due to it. Now with that all said and done, here's the final painting. I hope you enjoy.